Argentina's new president is Mauricio Macri. There have been jubilant scenes in Buenos Aires as the opposition candidate celebrated with supporters during a victory rally. It is the first time the centre-right has held the presidency in more than a decade.
I'm here because you brought me here. And so I ask you, therefore, don't abandon me. Let us continue together that on December 10th, the wonderful stage of Argentina begins. It's here, it's now. Let's go, Argentina. Let's go, Argentina. It's here, it's now.
And a little earlier, Argentina's ruling party candidate, Daniel Scioli, conceded defeat.
The
will of the people has elected a new president, engineer Mauricio Macri, who I have just congratulated by phone, wishing him success for the sake of the country. I would like to express my deep gratitude for the support of our active members of the party.
Well, shortly we'll cross to Daniel Schweimler, who's with Daniel Scioli's camp in Buenos Aires. But first, let's go to our correspondent, Teresa Bow. She's at Mauricio Macri's headquarters. Teresa, so Macri, as we saw earlier, thanking everyone, briefly outlining his vision, but mostly just celebrating.
Well, that's correct. There are not lots of people here left. They've been celebrating and dancing. This seemed more like a party than a political rally. People continue to be in disbelief about what happened. And let's recap a little about what's been going on in Argentina. On October 25th, Daniel Scioli was the sure winner for the elections. It seemed that he was going to be unbeatable, but then something happened that Argentina went on a runoff. And this Sunday, the unbelievable happened, which is that Mauricio Macri won these elections. People here were celebrating until a few minutes ago, and they're saying that they're ready to work for a better Argentina. Mauricio Macri also mentioned important things that they're hoping to do when he becomes president on December 10th. Poverty zero, for example, also bringing Argentina closer to the rest of the world, Argentina back into the world financial market. So there's lots of optimism and hope among Macri supporters.
Optimism and hope, and he certainly has his work cut out for him, doesn't he, Teresa?
Well, that's correct. And what he's been saying basically is that for the last 12 years, Argentina has become isolated, closer to Venezuela, to China, to Russia, but not to the rest of the world, with a strong presence of the state in the economy, with lots of social plans that have helped millions of poor around the country. Well, Macri is saying that he's going to continue with those plans to help the poor, but also change what's been going on in Argentina. He's been saying that he's going to change what needs to be changed. And he says that he's been preparing as the mayor of Buenos Aires, but what's going to be one of his biggest role in Argentina's political history.
Teresa, thank you very much for that. Let's go now to our correspondent, Daniel Schweimler. He's at the headquarters for Daniel Scioli, the losing party candidate who conceded defeat a little earlier. But has the news sunk in there, Daniel?
It's really hard to tell because this doesn't look much like the wake of the defeated. There's still several thousand people here in the Plaza de Mayo outside Daniel Scioli's headquarters. As you can probably see and hear behind me, there's plenty of flags being waved, there's musicians out there, people are dancing and singing. Although people we've spoken to are saying they can't quite believe that he's lost after 12 years of growth, of 12 years of policies they thought were taking the country forward. They can't quite believe the Argentine people voted against Daniel Scioli and voted in Mauricio Macri. So I think there's people here are finding it very difficult to accept the defeat. There are people standing around amongst the celebrations, some with tears on their cheeks still. Some people have started to drift away. But it does look as though this, I don't know whether to call it a celebration exactly, but it does look as though this event is going to go on until deep into the night.
Daniel, thank you very much for that update from the Daniel Scioli's headquarters there in Buenos Aires.